All right, so we got a couple things to talk about before I play the clip, courtesy of WWE.com. Muhammad Ali, man, he is joining the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2024. So, my personal opinions about the legendary boxer Muhammad Ali. So, it's been a long time coming, right? A long time coming. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long, long time ago. And here he is, man, also part of WrestleMania 1. Been part of the history of WWE since the beginning, right? Legendary wrestling feud against Tony Inoki. So Muhammad Ali is a major, major part of the pro wrestling landscape, and I'm very surprised it took him that long to get Muhammad Ali into the WWE Hall of Fame. So, man, doggy, he's in it now, alongside with Paul Heyman, the U.S. Express, and Bull Nakano for the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame. So congrats to Muhammad Ali being part of the Hall of Fame as always. So we got that going on. Action figure toy of the week. Stay tuned to that, folks, because I will have a new episode of sorts, right? I'm not going to restart a whole new podcast, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Into the Squared Circle podcast rewind, where I kind of turn back the dial, right? Break out your VHS, so break out your tapes, break out your DVDs. We will talk about classic wrestling. No time period. There's no set end date or start date. We can go far as back where a man versus a bear at a carnival. That's how far back wrestling we can go. And we can stop, hell, 2010s. We can do that if we wanted to. We can. Rewind. That's what we're going to do. We talk about anything. We can rewind the past of pro wrestling, talk about anything and everything. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way up to the 2000s or more. And I do have an action figure pick for this rewind, and I like to feature on that episode, so stay tuned. And on that episode, we will talk about WWE Biography, which you can feature and watch on A&E, the television network. And we're going to talk about the Randy Orton biography, the Sergeant Slaughter biography, and Scott Hall. Man, what a emotional episode of Scott Hall, if you know his history. But we will talk about that, man. And Dark Side of the Ring, the debut show of John Tempesta. Our fans know him as Earthquake in the WWF. And, of course, they threw in the Shockmaster in WCW. What a embarrassing moment. Our fans know him as Typhoon in the WWF. The Natural Disasters tag teamed up with Earthquake. Man, Dark Side of the Ring, good stuff. I haven't watched the Bagwell episode, the Bagwell and the Family. Buff Bagwell, the stuff. Man, I got to check the episodes. Stay tuned to that. And I believe the next WWE biography, which is based off DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. Bang! I can't wait for that one coming up this coming Sunday on St. Patrick's Day. So stay tuned to Into the Square Circle podcast rewind, where we dial back to the history in the time machine. So we got that going on. Okay, let's talk about WWE Raw this past Monday, but we're specifically one audio, one highlight. And it's a very interesting topic. It's Cody Rhodes, right? A great promo, good stuff. It was an interesting one, of course, as well, because he kind of broke down in the middle. What I mean about broke down, he started crying. So, was it a legit, real crying? Like, was he bawling his eyes out like a grown man? Or he just got very choked up and emotional, trying to achieve his goal by defeating Roman Reigns, maybe on night number 2 of WrestleMania. Can Cody defeat Roman Reigns night number 2 of WrestleMania? Or could him and Seth Rollins make a great combo team to defeat The Rock and Roman Reigns at night number 1? Interesting stuff here. I'll go ahead and play the clip courtesy of WWE.com, and we will talk about it after this clip right now.
The story is no longer about Roman Reigns' championship and myself. The story is about all of you who have followed me to the absolute ends. The story is about a young girl named Hannah, blind, came to the show holding a sign cheering for me just to feel it. My friend Harley, who was sitting in the front row, who just went through spinal fusion surgery, who wanted nothing more than to get the weight belt. Fans like that. Fans from my own family. Fans like my sister, the one that Rock didn't mention last week, the original shotgun rider for my dad, who went from watching him wrestle in front of thousands of people to driving him to a signing where there was only 40. Or my mother. She's the only one I got left. And I can't hand it to Dusty Rhodes, but I certainly can hand it to Michelle Rubio. Or how about my number one fan? Someone you know really well because you hired her, my wife, Brandy Rhodes, the most beautiful woman on the earth. She took a shot on me when I was wearing a goofy mask and taking RKOs every night. If anyone deserves it. The story, it's beyond me. But Michael, it's up to me. Roman Reigns. Last year at WrestleMania, you said we were in the third inning. I'm letting you know here and now, and I think you already do, we are no longer in the third inning. We are in the last inning. And Michael, I'm so glad we got this moment. Because at WrestleMania 40, on night 2, you get to say, for the first time in the history of this company, for the first time in the history of my family, that a Rhodes is undisputed WWE champion. Michael, you get to say, at WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes finished the story.
All right, there you go, folks. That clip you heard courtesy of WWE.com. Cody Rhodes. Man, what a promo from Cody. So, as I talked about Cody breaking down, I mean great segment with Michael Cole, who's on the announce team, conducting his interview with Cody, and he had great questions. And one of them stood out is, can you trust Seth Rollins as your tag team partner at WrestleMania Night 1? And Cody kept on breaking it apart, like, yeah, man, I could trust him. And when I sat there and heard that, I kind of thought about it, like, okay, how many times did Seth Rollins lose to Cody Rhodes? Could that play a role? Could he double cross Cody? That's one thing that was the back of my mind. Could Seth Rollins double cross Cody at WrestleMania? Maybe. You know what, man? It's going to be a very interesting road to WrestleMania or leading out. Anything could happen, right? Could The Rock turn on Roman Reigns? Is a possibility, right? Could The Rock assist The Rock? Rock. That don't make sense. Could The Rock assist Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes said nice things about The Rock this past Monday in his promo. He's like, you know what? We as a fans respect him. We love him as a wrestler. As the board of director, you know, yeah, we don't like him, right? We don't like the corporate Rock or Hollywood Rock, however the fans call him. So it was a very interesting promo, but the part was in this promo where he started breaking down, crying, right? Not crying, but choking up. You know, my dad's not here. Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes. You know, if I win the title, I mean, I have my mom's here. My mom's here, and she's the only person here on the planet Earth that could receive my winning titles if I defeat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Night 2. So that's another possibility. But, yeah, I was a little choking up there. But, you know, I keep seeing fans out there, why does grown man crying? Right? Your main event in WrestleMania number 2 for the big title. Why are you choking? Like, hold it in, man. I know it's emotional, but when you hear his promo, he switched to very serious, like this. Night and day, with a flip on the switch. He smoothly transitioned to a more serious vocal range. You can hear it, right? Oh, my wife. Not my wife. I'm gonna win the title, and I'm gonna give it to Mom. And this coming Sunday, just the way the range of vocals, the way he's spoken about this promo, it was you could tell it stood out. It was different. It was unique. So I don't know, man. It's a tough topic to talk about. A lot of people's complaining about it, but The Rock, he did point it out this past Friday at Smackdown. Well done, because they replayed it. It was great. But we will talk about that, man. We will talk about that, of course. But what you guys thought about this Cody promo? Thumbs up, thumbs down, in the middle. Was it good? Bad? Let me know what you guys think. Into the Square Circle Podcast on Facebook, X, Instagram, of course on YouTube. Hit the follow, hit the follow, hit the like. Man, I can't speak. Yeah, man. Let me know what you guys thought about this promo from Cody Rhodes. All right, we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will talk about AEW Dynamite. Yes, one highlight. The CEO, if you know what I'm talking about. If not, stay tuned. We'll talk about it with audio courtesy of AEW.com. Here we go after this quick commercial break. JB's here, and did you know that Into the Squared Circle Podcast is on YouTube? Did you? But yes, it is on YouTube. All you have to do is type in youtube.com/Into the Squared Circle Podcast. That's right, folks. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now, damn it, so you never miss an episode each and every week, just like this podcast. That's right, folks. If you're on YouTube, you're typing how to change a light bulb or how to replace the batteries in your remote. And since you're there, all you have to do is search Into the Squared Circle Podcast, hit the subscribe, hit the bell button, and you're a part of the family. Join the fastest growing community of pro wrestling independent podcasts on YouTube, Into the Squared Circle Podcast. Subscribe today.
I'm home. If you guys can feel my heart right now, it's beating out of my chest. But first and foremost, that's the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for having my back these past 2 years. Thank you for giving me the courage and the strength to be here. Thank you for sticking with me from all of my lows, all of my highs, all of my milestones, all of my titles, all of my moments, the history-making moments. Thank you. And trust me, we are going to be creating so much magic and so many moments together. Because every single one of you, you are the reason that I am here. So thank you. I love you. I love you guys. And if you only knew how much tonight means to me, how much this means to me, how much wrestling means to me. You see, in so many ways, wrestling has changed and saved my life. Wrestling has given me hopes. It has given me a place to dream. And people and legendary people like Eddie Guerrero gave me a place that I can believe that I can do this one day too. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for letting me believe in my dreams. You see, my dreams got me to lead a woman's evolution. My dreams made me become the first ever woman to main event a pay-per-view in this very building. You see, my dream started when I was only 10 years old. And when I was 13, I dropped out of school to take care of my brother. I love you, Joshua. And then those dreams at 18 years old and only 90 pounds took me to North Andover, Massachusetts, to a place called Chaotic Wrestling, where I began my dream. And that dream to become the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And I want you guys to know, if I can do it, you can do it too. So let's get down to business, huh? You want to know why I'm here? Because I need to be here. I want to be here. AEW is the only place where this revolution can be global.
All right, welcome back, folks, and let's talk about AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. But again, one highlight, one audio clip. So that clip you heard courtesy of AEW.com. And here we go, folks, man. The CEO, the final boss. No, I'm sorry, that's The Rock. The Rock's the final boss. This is the legit boss. There's too many bosses in pro wrestling. Damn it. So we have a new signing. We have a new female addition to the females roster in AEW, All Elite Wrestling. I'm talking about Mercedes Mone. She is officially a part of All Elite Wrestling. And, man, what a hot crowd. A hot crowd. Fans were bananas for her. Of course, she made her debut at the TD Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. So, of course, and it was great, man. She had Bailey, Naomi, and it was a Tamika Snuka, one of her friends, right? So she had three of her best friends from a different company, the WWE. They were in a sweet box at the AEW show, which is great. And I saw a video. They were wearing ski masks, like, oh, nobody won't figure that we're sneaking in the building to watch our best friend debut in AEW. It was great. They were wearing ski masks, so nobody can recognize them. They're all like purple ski masks, pink ski masks. Like, that's not obvious, right? But, you know, it was great that they were there to support Mercedes Mone, right? And I'm saying that because the friendship, right? The friendship circle of the women's wrestling world, right? They support each other, right? When Naomi was under Trinity Fatu and Impact Wrestling, who was there to support her? Bayley and Mercedes. When Mercedes made her New Japan Pro Wrestling debut out in California, who was there? Bayley and Trinity, or Naomi. So this is like the female clique of the pro wrestling, right? And if you're not a wrestling fan and you're like, what the hell's the clique, right? You click a button on your mouse. What is it? Well, the clique is a well-known friendship group in the 90s, pro wrestling, where it featured, Triple H, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, 4 guys who were really close to each other. I mean, even Sean Waltman, her X-Pac, was part of this group. And these guys were really close to each other, right? Eventually, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash went over to their competition back in the 90s, WCW. This is featured on the Scott Hall documentary as well, on the A&E biography. But they were still friends, despite, everybody being on different companies. And they were still friends, even till this today. So that's why they're known as the clique, right? And this is like the female clique friendships. Mercedes and AEW treated like a top female superstar. And Naomi and Bayley, I guess, somewhat featured as a top superstar because they ended SmackDown this past Friday. So it was great to see the female divisions, that these 3 women closing out both major shows, major television shows, which was awesome, man. Of course, Mercedes Mone opened up a great promo, what you just heard, right, with a hot crowd. She gave like a brief, less than a minute history of her grinding back all the way up to the top of the wrestling industry. So it was a great promo. This was a great promo. This was a WWE-esque promo. It was well done. Perfection at the finest. And, it was exciting, man. I'm excited of Mercedes Mone and what her futures hold. I can't wait to see her pairings and who she can face in the near future. Some of the women's top of my mind, obviously Toni Storm, great pick. Another potential opponent, possibly Thunder Rosa. If they bring back Dr. Britt Baker, that'd be great. There's just so many potential opponents for Mercedes Mone that just money, baby. No pun intended, money. To main event pay-per-views. So that's good stuff, man. But man, what a great crowd, man. And of course, she ended the show, of course, assisting her, or I guess her somewhat short, long time feud against Willow Nightingale this past Wednesday at Dynamite. So overall, it was a great show, and great to see Mercedes Mone debut on AEW. What do you guys thought about it? If you watched the show, thumbs up, thumbs down, or right down to the middle. Into the Square Circle Podcast on Facebook, X, Instagram, or send me a DM, folks, as always. All right, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about the main event of the show. We'll kick off the show talking about WWE SmackDown. One highlight, one audio. Of course, starts off the show this past Friday, The Rock. Starts off with a sing-along, as always. A very entertaining show. So we will break the clip in half, and we will discuss right after this quick commercial break right here and Into the Squared Circle Podcast.
Hey, yeah, you. I'm watching you. Stop what you're doing. Well, I mean, if you're on an expressway, just don't stop. But this is a commercial. I fooled you. But did you know that I have a secondary podcast? Did you? It's very simple. If you're a fan of rock, you're a fan of heavy metal, you're a fan of classic rock, yeah, I do have a second podcast, but please, keep it a secret. Do not tell anybody, okay? It's called a Lesson in Headbanging Podcast. That's right. If you love to headbang, you love to go into mosh pits, you love to do crowd surfing, you love to hang out in the front row like I do, it's very simple. Get the hottest ticket in town. the hottest concert of the year, a lesson in headbanging podcast. That's right. If you're a fan of rock and roll, that's right. I will do tour reviews, review upcoming tours in the coming year, like 2024, upcoming albums, my album pick of the week. Man, I'm a fan of rock and roll. And if you're a fan of rock, check it out right now, a lesson in headbanging podcast. Yeah, available on all major podcasting outlets, just like this podcast, and available on YouTube as well. A lesson in headbanging podcast. Come on, baby. Join me in the pit. If you dare. Or just hit the follow and hit the like. It's that very simple. A lesson in headbanging podcast available right now. All part of the GSJ Multimedia Productions. If you need help in podcasting, maybe you need help in commercials, maybe you need help videoing some stuff like a commercial for your business or whatnot, GSJMultimedia.com is the place to be. Let your ideas and vision come to life.
You know, usually every single week, The Rock comes out here and he tortures and he scorches every city that he's in. But tonight, it's different. This city is different. You see, years ago, when The Rock first started his wrestling career, The Rock started right here in Memphis, Tennessee. The Rock started right here in Memphis, Tennessee, every Saturday morning, Channel 5. Every Monday night at the Big Top Flea Market. Do you remember The Rock's name back then? Flex Cavana. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I went for it. So this city is a little different. So The Rock will say it like this. I love you too, I appreciate that. So this is the way The Rock will say this. Finally, The Rock has come back! Home. Memphis, Tennessee, The Rock has come back home. It's been years. We're gonna have some fun tonight. You wanna have fun? The Rock has promised we're gonna have some fun. This is the home of the blues. Home of Elvis Presley. You know The Rock loves the blues, loves his Elvis Presley, loves country. So we're gonna have some fun. You wanna hear The Rock sing a little song? All right, let's have The Rock sing a song. Let's go, boys. From the Grammy-nominated band War and Treaty, we got Max right here. And of course, Memphis' own Yella P. The Rock is gonna sing a little song for you tonight. Now, The Rock is going to cover a lot of stuff in this song, but what he's going to cover first is what's going to happen. I love you too, honey. Thank you for saying that. You sound like somebody The Rock can love, drunk and horny, so appreciate it. Thank you, Rodney Carrington, for that one. The Rock is going to sing a little bit of song here. This is what's going to happen to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. You boys ready? Come on. The Rock is gonna come laying the smacketh down on your blonde Cody ass and your best friend the clown. I'm gonna whoop that ass and break your back. Or maybe I'll just beat you with my fanny pack. There's gonna be so much drama. You'll truly have no choice but cry to your mama. Ah, you know who The Rock is talking about. Mama Rhodes. Woo. Cody Rhodes' mama. Rock is a mama's boy. We got a lot of mama's boys out there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You boys are mama's boys?
You know it.
Well, here's a little story about how Cody was born. This is historically accurate, as all of The Rock stories are historically accurate. Dusty's youngest son was just what he feared. He tried to raise him right, but he turned out too weird. That's when Dusty said with total frustration that drugs and cheap condoms was a bad combination. I know it keeps Cody awake to know he wasn't planned and he was a mistake. It's okay, Cody. The important thing is you're here now. But you're not alone going to WrestleMania. You got a tag team partner. That living embodiment of cringe, Seth Rollins. Got a little song for him too.
Oh yeah.
Cackling and dancing is all that you do. No wonder that your wife's more popular than you. You're so damn desperate to make them all cheer, but The Rock is gonna take that title, disappear. You're simply an embarrassment, son. Just like John Morant when he's waving a gun. I love you, John.
We love you, John.
We love you, brother. Get well soon. Get well soon. Hey, well, I think that covers it. We got Cody,
We got
his family,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we might be leaving somebody out. Who we've left
Check
out?
it. Check the record. Check the record.
Yes, the Cody Crybabies. Ah, yeah. This one's for you, Cody Crybabies. You're all so entitled, obnoxious and brash. Some of you have sex, but you have to pay cash.
Oh, no.
Your hero's gonna bleed and need some stitches. So whine about that, you crybaby bitches. There's some lines you just don't cross. You all can kiss the ass of the final boss. We're gonna do that one more time. There's some lines you just don't cross. You all can kiss the ass of the final boss. We love you, Memphis.
So there's the first half of the clip, courtesy of WWE.com. A very entertaining segment from The Rock, right? Doing the bluesy comedy spot, making fun of Cody, making fun of the clown emoji, Seth freaking Rollins, and the fans, of course. You realize you heard the crowd. They were red hot for The Rock, and The Rock accepted it. You know why? Take a guess. And he said it in his promo, so it's pretty obvious. The Rock made his debut in Memphis, Tennessee, back in the early 90s, mid 90s. So Memphis, Tennessee was the sweet spot, man. That's the place that was special in his heart, and the fans know it. That's where the fans were losing their damn minds about The Rock. Instead of booing at him, they were cheering for him. And what great about this promo, they were smart. The WWE and the creative team were smart to keep Roman Reigns off this and give The Rock all his glory to kick off SmackDown. Perfect. Absolutely perfection to keep Roman Reigns off. It would have been really awkward because they're going to boo Roman Reigns, but they're going to cheer for The Rock. But if they go to the next town next Friday, wherever town they're going to be in, Tulupo, Mississippi, whatever they may be, they're most likely will boo The Rock. So that's the perfect way. But they already advertised Cody and Roman face off next Friday, so that might be interesting. But this was a great, entertaining Rock sing along, of course. Again, it's classic Rock, right? Classic Rock. So we got that. Let's hit the audio talking about the serious Rock, where things got a little bit dark. So let's play this clip courtesy of WWE.com.
We're going to move this out of the way because Rock wants to say something now. We had some fun. We're going to have another kind of fun. Last week on Smackdown, Cody Rhodes, he did something to The Rock. The world heard it. The Rock felt it. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, Cody finally manned up, huh? Finally grew a pair of balls. He took a swing at The Rock. He slapped the hell out of The Rock. But what The Rock do? The Rock smiled. And then a couple of days later, Cody went on Monday Night Raw. And The Rock was waiting. The world was waiting. How were you going to respond to the biggest moment of your career, slapping The Rock? Were you going to cut an impassionate promo? What were you going to do? How were you going to respond, Cody Rhodes, to the moment that made you famous? Let's take a look.
My mother. She's the only one I got left. And I can't hand it to Dusty Rhodes, but I certainly can hand it to Michelle Rubio.
You responded by crying. You responded by crying. You gotta be me. That's how you respond? Oh, I can't give the title to my daddy, so I'm gonna give the title to my mommy. I gotta give the title to my... You ain't giving anybody anything. Cody, The Rock doesn't want to talk to you right now, but The Rock wants to talk to one person right now, and that's your mama. Mama Rhodes. The Rock knows that you're watching. The Rock knows you're listening. You don't know The Rock, but you're gonna know The Rock in ways that you wish you hadn't. So Mama Rose, let The Rock break it down for you and how WrestleMania is gonna go. Your son Cody took something from me, and I'm gonna make him pay. I'm gonna make your family pay, and I'm gonna make you pay. On WrestleMania Night 1, The Rock and Roman Reigns, we're gonna beat your son and we're gonna beat Seth Rollins, which puts us to Night 2. Bloodline rules, anything goes. Mama Rhodes, The Rock knows that you just can't wait for your son to finish that story. You want your son to finish that story so bad. You want your son to hand you that belt so bad, that Universal Championship, but that ain't gonna happen. That belt is gonna stay around the waist of my cousin Roman Reigns. And now, Mama Rhodes, You are going to get a belt, but you're going to get the Rock's belt. It ain't going to be that Universal Championship. It's going to be this belt here, Mama Reigns. Mama Rhodes is going to be a belt just like this. And The Rock is going to take this belt and he's going to beat your son. He's going to beat the piss out of your son, and The Rock is going to make your son bleed. He's going to tear his skin, tear his flesh, and he's going to whoop him. He's going to whoop him like a dog over and over and over again. And Mama Rhodes, your son's blood is going to be on this belt. And when that Rock is done whooping your son, and Roman is done beating your son 1, 2, 3, The Rock is going to take this belt full of your son's blood, and he's going to walk over to you. Mama Rhodes, The Rock needs you sitting in the first row so the world can see. And The Rock is going to walk right over to you, Mama Rhodes, and he's going to hand you this belt. He's going to hand you this belt right here. And he's going to put it in your lap, and you're going to be crying just like your son, and that's okay, because then The Rock is going to whisper in your ear, Mama Rhodes, and with all the blood on your son's belt here and your tears on that belt, The Rock is going to whisper in your ear, he's going to wipe your tears away, and he's going to say, Michelle, what can I say except you're welcome?
So, man, things just change in a dime. So The Rock got serious. He was going full on, what's the comedian name? Ron White, you know, for the Blue Collar Tour, you know, with Bill Engvall and who else? Larry the Cable Guy, Ron White. You know, Ron White would be on stage smoking a cigar, drinking a bourbon or scotch or vodka on stage, and that's what The Rock felt like. The Rock had his own, I assume his Tremana tequila in a glass, and he was locked on focus, man. He made a point, not only to the fans, but to Cody and his family. Now The Rock is bringing up Cody's family, his mom specifically. Now you heard the Cody segment where he was crying. Remember, we talked about that on the top of the show, right? So even The Rock brought up, you know, Cody's crying. Quit crying, damn it. You're a grown man. And instead of winning the title by defeating Roman Reigns, The Rock was going to give Cody a different kind of belt. Now, if you're a wrestling fan, you watch WWE Daily, you know that Cody wears these trainer weight belts, and he hands them out to kids in the front row. Well, The Rock had his own training belt, but it was more of a tan colored with The Rock's Brahma Bull logo on it, and his name is on the inner side of the belt. And he said, you know what, Cody, I'm going to whip your ass with this belt, and I'm going to make sure this belt has blood, sweat, and tears on it, and I'm going to hand it right to your mom after WrestleMania. So, man, The Rock was getting deep. He was getting dark. He is the guy you do not want to mess with. And, wow, what a change of tone. Similar to Cody, right? Cody was getting dramatic, you know, choking up, to being somewhat serious. The Rock. The Rock starts off having fun, joking around. Things got dark. Things got very, very, very serious when it comes down to Rock. Why so serious? As the Joker says in the Batman. Man, what a great promo from The Rock. And what do you guys thought about The Rock's promo on Smackdown? Did you enjoy it? Was this the best Rock segment you've seen so far this year, or probably the past couple of years? What do you guys thought? Thumbs up, thumbs down, or right down the middle? Good stuff all around. All right, folks, all eyes are on this coming Monday on Raw. See if Cody will respond to The Rock. And kind of see what's going on with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre and so much more. Of course, Wednesday night Dynamite, Friday night Smackdown. A lot of wrestling coming up leading up to the road to WrestleMania. Of course, stay tuned right here on the show to keep up everything pro wrestling, of course, as we lead into WrestleMania and around the world. Stay tuned to my Into the Square Circle podcast rewind, where we kind of dial back the time and go back and talk about the past. And stay tuned to that. That's coming out pretty soon. And again, follow me on my social media platforms, Into the Square Circle podcast on Facebook, X, Instagram. Hit the like, hit the follow. Also on YouTube. Join me on patreon.com/Into the Square Circle podcast. $1.99 a month will give you all the access to bonus content, like whatever you want to talk about, right? Topics. You want to talk about a specific thing, like the Rock segment. We can go on an hour talking about it. You have the option to do that, right? You choose the topic. You choose you want to do. By the way, your name will be featured towards the end of this podcast and on YouTube. $1.99 a month. Join patreon.com/Into the Squared Circle podcast. All right, folks, have a great St. Patrick's Day weekend, or a belated St. Patrick's Day weekend. Have a safe week. Until next time, folks, be safe, stay heavy, and happy wrestling. Bye-bye, everybody.